Tonight, Trump tweets directly to the Q board and was the president's attorney-client privilege revoked by a Soros-backed judge? Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Just Informed Talk. For those of you who don't know, I start off each one of these episodes by saying thank you to each and every one of my subscribers. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so thank you so much to each and every one of you who have come here and subscribed. If you have not hit the subscribe button already, please come here and click the big red subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way, as soon as this information gets posted, you'll be notified, because as soon as information is made available to me, I make it available to you. Now, we're going to jump right into what the Q is getting at, but we have some really incredible stuff we're going to get at the end of this, near the end of this episode. So you guys stick around for that, where it's actually it did a Soros-backed judge, George Soros-backed judge, just deny the attorney-client privilege between the president and his attorney. So first, we're going to get into Q. And here's what Q is saying. First, there's an AN0N who posts this here, and what this is basically this graph that I showed you guys in the last video. If you guys want to watch it, the tarmac deal, you guys can go back and catch up and figure out exactly where we are if you guys want to do that. But what is this chart showing? Well, this chart is showing that the number 2 highest search for QAnon by region is Armenia. And how does that make any sense? Well, Q points us in the last post to understand that Armenia is here, and it is where the CIA clowns are actually hiding out. And he points us out here in this last post, number 4. There's 4 clowns here that we're watching and are watching actively, because they're monitoring everything that goes on here. And I even went back and have seen that there's a very funny trend in my analytics for this channel, where we actually have what appears to be maybe 1 viewer in Armenia, or maybe 3 viewers in Armenia, who happen to be watching all these episodes. So to those clowns out there in Armenia who are watching, hi, how are you? You guys are the ones who will be going down. Now, Q says, or the AN0N says here, very well. So search for anything before October 2017. If you want to start to split hairs, the data shows the keyword didn't start trending until November, and he's just pointing to the fact that you can see this big jump in the explosion in it trending because it was shortly thereafter, late October, where Q started posting these posts to the QAnon 8chan boards and 4chan. But this is certainly what Q's getting at. He says, distraction, they are here in force, Q. So, I mean, every time we open up those 8chan boards, we only have so much time to get what we need to get up, and they're working actively 24/7 to fill those with disinformation. So everybody, please remain active and remain alert when you're involved, if you're on that end, and if you're on the other end where you're just kind of watching this from afar. Please just remember that we're doing everything we can to make sure that we get the truth out to you guys every single day. So the next post here that Q goes into, he responds to an AN0N who posts this screenshot, which is of Trump's tweet here, where he says, Russia and China are playing the currency devaluation game as the U.S. president, or as the U.S. keeps raising interest rates. Not acceptable. Well, what's that saying? Well, the Russians and the Chinese are involved in a very big economic game of economic warfare against the United States. And it's basically when they devalue their currency against our interest rates rising, they basically make their currencies more valuable, and they actually make our currency less valuable. So it's a game of economics. There's money at stake, and we're losing money every time we allow them to treat us this way, and to basically print less money, put less money out, and lie about what they have in reserve as far as gold reserves and everything else, to where they could actually flip the script in any kind of wartime scenario and try to at least be able to barter with the rest of the world outside of the US dollar, which is something that obviously we can't really stand for, given the fiat nature of our currency and where it's come to with the global dependency on it, especially when you look at the Middle East and their petrodollar system that we've put into place a very long time ago, and back in the 70s. So what we have here is a very, very strategically unstable situation, or unstable, I should say. And what it means for us is that we have to play the game back. Now, does that mean we keep interest rates low? I'm not sure. There's a lot of different ways we can play this game, but we're going to have to wait and see what Trump decides to do as far as an overall plan. Now, the AN0N post in relation to this, he says, anyone think this tweet has to do with Q's post pics of the where and why? Also, is 5'5" the fine eyes? And I think what he meant to say here is 5 eyes. And Q says, not a coincidence, 25/100% Q. So I'm still deciphering what this means, but I think what he's obviously pointing us to is the fact that you have very possible that there's not a coincidence between the 5'5" and the 5 eyes being mentioned quite often throughout the Q posts, and that could be a reference to them saying that all 5 are here watching, and or 5 are on board in certain area, but that's certainly something that is still up for speculation at this point. Also, the 25/100% thing, I've kind of taken this to be relating possibly to talking about Q's posts and pics, but I'm not sure yet. The where and the why is obviously what we discussed in the last video. For those of you who don't know, it was these pictures here where it was China, and then there was the Shenzhen Stock Exchange in China. And if you look at that building, actually, it's basically one big upside-down cross. But he says the where, and I guess this would be China, and the why, which would be the Shenzhen Stock Exchange, right? So what they would be basically getting at in this post is that possibly there's 25 that make up the 100%. I'm not sure. You guys have to help me out with that one in the comments. Still piecing that part together. I didn't really get enough time to do any kind of research into what it could or couldn't be besides doing ancillary stuff, which led me to basically pretty much not getting anywhere with that. Now, moving into the next post, we're just going to get through these pretty quick because I want to talk about the stories going on, because there's a lot going on with the Inspector General report. There's a lot going on with Trump's attorney and the death of the Fourth Amendment in our country and the illegal criminal activities of the FBI and the DOJ that are actively going on against our president. So we have to get into those things because they're very important as well. Now, what they're talking about right here, an AN0N post Q. So we have iris scanners for phones. When do we prick our finger and drop blood on the home button to confirm our identification? It says, see where this is going. And Q says 23andMe, Ann Wojcicki spouse. Why is this relevant? Q. Well, obviously, for those of you who have been watching this channel for a while, we've actually gone over this in previous videos, but we'll do a little refresher for those of you who aren't sure. And just really quickly, Ann Wojcicki, she is the CEO and co-founder of 23andMe. She was formerly married to the her sister, oddly enough, works here at YouTube, the channel you're probably watching this on. And obviously, we have our issues with the Wojcicki sisters because of their weird global domination push. These people are obviously evil, in my opinion. That's just a simple opinion to me that I can have, that they are evil and that they have obviously set on to a mission to destroy what is good because they don't have any soul left, or they've lost their soul to whatever evil is out there. But they want to censor us, and then they want to take our DNA and they want to use it to make themselves into a god emperor class where they could just transcend humans and leave us in the dust because they think they're better than us. So that's basically my interpretation of and thought about these two sisters. But I could be totally off, so who knows? You guys have to let me know what you think in the comments about these two wonderful sisters. But now, she's trying, first you have her here, the Susan, she's trying to censor us here at YouTube. Then you have her sister here stealing our genetic makeup and trying to redo our entire genetic makeup, as it were. And this one, the 23andMe, Anne, her husband, ex-husband, is Sergey Brin. Now, who is Sergey Brin? He's obviously the founder of Google. He's 13th richest person in the world, worth $47.2 billion. He is from the Soviet Union. He immigrated here at 6. He married AN0N and had 2 children with her. And how is this all related back to 23andMe? Well, 23andMe actually received back in 2007. The company was founded by AN0N in 2006 to provide genetic testing interpretation to individual consumers. In 2007, Google invested $3.9 million in the company, along with Genentech, New Enterprise and Associates, and more David Au Ventures. Then Wojcicki, of course, married Google co-founder Sergey Brin at the time, and they had 2 kids who I'm sure are genetically engineered little creatures. Who knows, given what these people are into and the money that they have to get into it. But what Q's pointing us to here is that this all relates back to the deep state and then their push to actually have control over us on every level that is conceivable. It's kind of like what LifeLog was when we talked about that in a previous episode that you guys can, if you guys are familiar with the channel, you can look up or you can watch. And again, and if you're not, then just go Google LifeLog, L-O-G, and Facebook, and you'll see the connection there where the same day that the DARPA, which is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, their project LifeLog, so look up DARPA and LifeLog, you can see that they actually, the same day that Facebook was created, terminated that venture. So obviously Facebook is LifeLog, LifeLog is Facebook, and the purpose of LifeLog was to basically catalog every single thing that we do in real time and put it into a metadata base so that it can be searchable, so that you don't have privacy anymore, and that humans as we know it will cease to exist as private individuals and then go on to exist as state-monitored beings, entities, if you will. So that was the whole point behind LifeLog in that. Now, what Q's pointing us to next is something very interesting. So you have this IQT.org, which is In-Q-Tel. If you guys don't know, In-Q-Tel is a company we've talked about a lot. They have a lot of connection to Google and the deep state and shell companies. And the link that Q actually gives us here is to their portfolio, right? Now, this website's been down for, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 hours, I would say conservatively, and it just came back up. So, and it went down directly after Q made the drop. So, it's incredibly obvious that all they've been doing for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours is scrubbing the site of anything that could be connected back to directly shell companies that they own, companies they don't want to mention, or things on their website that would be incriminating. So they've been scrubbing for the last 5 hours. I hope that worked out well for them. But now we have access again to whatever's left of what they didn't scrub. So I'm sure I'm going to depend on you guys to let me know what you think is or has been scrubbed from this website, and what connections we can look at to say that Q is pointing us in a direction that we need to continue to follow. So I'm going to keep doing research there. I'll wait for some of the more in-depth audits who can really go hard into this stuff to put up some posts, and we'll kind of look at what they have to say, and we'll do some more research, and I'll bring you that hopefully in a later episode if we can get back to that before the next posts start popping up. So what did we learn? Well, we learned a lot about stuff we kind of already knew, and that's kind of important just in the fact that we have to keep refreshing ourselves on things because there's new people joining this initiative every single day, so we have to continue to stay on top of it. Now, getting into the daily news that's really important. First, you have even CNN agreeing that the Inspector General report on Ryan McCabe is terrible and he had to go. And I mean, it just outlines exactly what kind of criminals we've had at the FBI and the DOJ for so long. And if you look at these people, I mean, you have him lying under oath 3 times. He's setting up this whole situation with his wife where she accepts, and I'm talking about Andrew McCabe, his wife accepts $700,000 from Terry McAuliffe who's basically a Clinton crony, who's basically giving her money to get the influence on McCabe so that the investigation at the FBI doesn't go anywhere into the Hillary Clinton email server. So again, you have these corrupt criminals at the FBI and the DOJ acting against what is good and fair and what is constitutionally legal. Now, you compound that with the fact that we have this ruling today from the judge who actually says that you've miscited the law, right? And this is the judge from Michael Cohen, who is dealing with this crazy, illegal criminal. I don't even know what to say or how would you defend anyone against this kind of unlawful criminal activity when you have the FBI, the literal top in law enforcement agency in the country, going in, stealing the president of the illegally, criminally stealing, violating the Fourth Amendment, criminally stealing. I'm repeating this because I don't know how else to express how criminal and illegal what they're doing is, but going in, raiding the president of the United States attorney's offices and hotel room and houses, or in house, in order to steal the president's confidential, classified, should never be let out, privileged information, attorney-client privilege information, right? This is not a game we're playing anymore. This has gone into open revolt against the president of the United States, where they're literally committing crimes against the president at the FBI and the DOJ. And who is the judge that just so happens to be presiding over this whole case? Who made this great decision? Well, it turns out that the judge is named Kimba Wood. Now, who is Kimba Wood? Why does that name sound so familiar? Well, it should sound familiar if you follow anything in the news, where you can see here that Kimba Wood was the federal judge who officiated over the non-denominational wedding of George Soros and his new wife, his latest wife. You can't make this stuff up. It makes my head want to explode, okay? It makes me so angry. It makes me so irately upset that I can't even fathom giving you a response to this other than to say, how is it legal? Or how is nobody putting these dots together? The woman who officiated over George Soros' wedding just ruled in a federal court, okay, that the president of the United States' attorney didn't have the right to attorney-client privilege. That's literally what we just saw, thereby striking the Fourth Amendment out of existence and creating a constitutional crisis that I can't even fathom delivering this news to you. And you can probably hear the frustration in my voice when I talk about the criminals at the FBI, the criminals at the Department of Justice, including federal judges like Kimba Wood, who are obviously not acting in the interest of the American people or the constitutional law that they're sworn to and sworn to uphold. Okay? So that's where we're at with this, people. And it seems to only be getting worse the further we go down this rabbit hole with the criminal coup that's going on against Trump in this country. These people have lost their mind. They've literally lost their mind. They think they can just break every law and just subvert the Constitution and just undermine the rule of law in our country. And it's okay because they know George Soros and he probably gave them money, and because they happen to be friends with Comey and Mueller, and it's all good because Stormy Daniels, a porn star, is a liar, a factually reported, literal, factual. I can't even a liar, documented. There's literal statements. Written statements that are signed by her that literally say that she never ever had sex or any sexual contact with the President of the United States, Trump. Then she goes and says the exact opposite. That's the categorical definition of a liar. And we're denying the President of the United States his Fourth Amendment right because of the words of a porn star. Do you see the madness that our country has fallen into here? I'm beside myself, but I have to keep reporting this news to you because it's either that or just nobody sees this, and then if nobody sees it, then what it's going to happen? It's just going to continue to get worse. So we have to continue to draw light to it. So please share this, get it out there, post to Twitter it, whatever you want to do with it. Do whatever you can to get this out there as far and as wide as you can, because this information has got to go viral, and it's got to get out there that this is happening to the president. This is so illegal. This is so wrong. This is so unconstitutional that I'm depending on you guys to spread this information and do your best to get it out there to the world at large. Now, that being said, that's going to be it for this episode of Just Informed Talk. Again, I want to thank each and every one of my subscribers. You guys are truly what make this channel possible. And if you have not hit the subscribe button, the easiest way you can contribute to this channel is to come here and click that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll be notified as soon as these videos get posted. But my promise is to always bring this information to you as soon as it's made available to me. And I really hope that you guys took a lot away from this episode, because there is a lot going on that is just, it's criminal malfeasance, and it's unconstitutional, and these people are traitors, and they could be brought up on treason charges as far as I'm concerned, the lot of them. So you guys, please let me know what you think in the comments. Again, that's the second best way you can contribute to the channel. If you're looking for a way to contribute, go down to the bottom of each one of these videos, just like this one here. We have our own QAnon research board at the end of each one of these videos. So go to the comment thread, leave your thoughts, theories, insights, whatever you want to contribute. Please, I want to hear what you have to think. But moreover, I want you guys to have a discussion and continue to keep this very lively and boisterous forum going, where we have healthy debate, not censored debate. We have real thought, not censored thought. And we have true breakthrough theoretical vision into what's going on here with the Q posts, and just extrapolating Q posts into the large stories that they should be, because they can't just tell us everything at once. So if you guys can't contribute, at least go down and read through the comments. I guarantee you'll learn something you did not know otherwise. Now, if you're looking for another way to contribute, you can come over here to my Patreon page. I really appreciate it. I need all the help I can get. I'm really trying to push you guys to keep this channel going, because it helps keep everything. If I need the funding so I can keep doing the research and keep the channel up and keep the information coming to you guys every single day, all day. So please come here to patreon.com. You can search Just Informed Talk. Please, all you have to do is hit the red button, become a patron, contribute whatever you can. I appreciate anything helps. But you can see, you can check out my rewards and my goal. You can get a chance for an email correspondence. You can have a chance to become a featured Patreon patron, and you can have a chance to earn actually a limited edition official Just Informed Talk t-shirt, which I kind of went out and got. And I think it's cool. So we've almost sold out of those. It's the first 10 contributors at the Gold Talk level, if you guys are interested. So thank you in advance. Please come here to this page if you'd like to learn more about how you can help out the channel. And again, thank you to all my patrons so far. Now, that being said, that's pretty much it for this episode. But we're going to talk about what the most important thing in all of this is. And that is our strength through God. And why is our strength through God so important? Well, because we're going to continue to be thrown obstacles. And sometimes even I have to learn from my own, I have to practice what I preach. And, you know, we all get thrown a curveball in life that we're not expecting. Whether it's a relationship that's gone sour, or a hardship that comes up, or a diagnosis medically that you have to deal with, whatever it may be for you. You have to put your faith into God, because, you know, when we get these Q posts and we get all this information, and then we have these stories breaking in the news that are just obviously criminal, and we can't even fathom things, we have to relinquish ourselves to the Lord, relinquish ourselves to His strength, relinquish ourselves to the fact that He's in charge of everything, and that without Him, nothing would be possible. So once we do that in our everyday life, when we come across the smallest of obstacles, then when the larger obstacles come along, it makes it so much easier and so much better to have that trust and faith in the Lord. Because I do. And I pray and hope that each and every one of you find that peace in your soul to know that no matter what happens in this world, that our faith in God is what will deliver us in the next world. And that's the most important thing. So please, if you guys are having doubts about yourself or faith, or you're having hardships or troubles, or you're going through a medical time or whatever it may be, just remember that no matter what, if you put your faith in God, you put your ultimate faith in God, and you open your heart to God and you tell Him with a true faith in yourself and your self-knowledge of this, that you love God and that He is the Savior and protector of the world, and that we have to put our faith in Him collectively every single day, and you just relinquish yourself to that, I promise you, God's going to bring so many blessings to you in your life that it's going to just change the way you look at the entire world. And even when you think something's a hardship, it can very easily turn into a blessing. You just have to have that faith in God and know that there are blessings out there to be had. So that's going to be it for this episode. So if you don't take anything else away from these shows here and what we're doing on this channel, please, I want you to just walk away with the fact, knowing the fact that God loves you. And God is there from you, and He is only a prayer away from you at any given time. So open your heart to the Lord and pray anytime, whether you're happy, sad, or anything in between, because God will start giving you the blessings that you deserve. And I think you all so richly deserve those. For if you have faith in the Lord will have faith in you. So please, that's it. Have a great one. I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if you want to, please, if you have not hit the subscribe button, please come here and click the big red subscribe button, and you can hit the bell for notifications. But that's going to be it for me. I want to say thanks for watching. My name is Craig. This has been Just Informed Talk. Godspeed, and God bless you all, Patriots.